It's also my pleasure to introduce one of Tom Severi, one of the other Tom's agents. His top agent, actually, is Sean Anthony, who you may have heard of because he was recently selected as a finalist and subsequently won the designation of 30 under 30. Qualifications are to be one of the top 30 agents in the country under 30 years old. So one of our Sean Anthony.
Hi, everybody.
Is this on? Where's Tom? Tom?
There he is.
He's making a video.
Good, he should do it in here.
He wants to make the big one.
Oh, in Tom fashion. So how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Can we get a round of applause for Sean here with his award? Now, how awesome is that? That's huge. By the way, this is the first time that he and I have actually met in person.
Talked on the phone for a bit.
Yeah, we had what was it, 3 hours? Yeah.
Could have been.
We talked for a long time about social media and really what you've done. You know how you've gained so much traction, and the reason why we're going to have like both Tom and Sean up here is because there are different designations, right? So Shannon was talking a ton about demographics. So his demographic, even though we're all going to be reaching and talking to people and giving, sales and listings and things like that to any age, but the way that he's doing it is going to be a whole hell of a lot different than the way that Tom's doing it. And so that's why we want to kind of give two different perspectives. Oh, there he is.
Oh, sorry about
there he
that.
is.
I found him in the bathroom. He had to put his shirt back on.
Normally I went down to the bar and got a Bloody Mary.
Hey, that'll work. Where's mine?
Bring one?
I was going to say, come on now. All right, so we were just kind of introducing how this is going to go. So I kind of want to, be talking to you guys here. So I kind of want to make this really engaging for you guys. I want if you have questions, comments, concerns, I really want to kind of chat here with everybody. So it's not just you fine gentlemen, but I want everybody to kind of share their experiences. So really, if you think about it, you started a vlog, right? So do you kind of want to tell everybody, your strategy behind that, why you wanted to do it, why you think it's successful?
Sure. For the introduction, thank you again, Tom and Alex. Great to be here with you and all the Howard Hanna crew. So thank you for being here. So recently, so you can see Jethro back there. He's holding the camera. One of them back there. So we recently started a vlog. We went really all in on a personal brand because I basically got sold on, for instance, people buy Michael Jordan shoes and LeBron James. Like, they all have a brand and then people stand behind that brand. And I'm like, how could I leverage myself outside of real estate, my life, my traveling, even speaking engagements, hiking with the girlfriend, walking the dogs, try to, go all in on that personal and business line that I feel like real estate really rides a lot anymore, and just kind of not jump across it, but just test it out to see how it would go. A lot of success with it. So just halfway through last year, we started this idea of a vlog. And, we've seen great success with it because people are getting to know me and get comfortable with me outside of a real estate transaction in a collar, for instance. I've heard the thing that agents sometimes are unapproachable because we are so busy, or we're too busy for referrals, or we're too busy for this. So the idea behind, letting people into my personal life a little more was, to try to create that comfortability. There's a gap between, here's Sean in real estate and what people perceive me as a busy person, but let's try to close that gap and say, you know what, I'm a person just like you, and why do people work with us as real estate agents? Trust and comfortability, right? So how do I close that gap? And that was really behind the whole vlog. So, it's been working good. People have said, oh great, I didn't know Sean likes to golf. I like to golf. Maybe I'll text Sean and golf with him. So just kind of an instance like there. People perceive me as a busy person, but let's try to close that gap and say, you know what, I'm a person just like you, and let's, why do people work with us as real estate agents? Trust and comfortability, right? So how do I close that gap? And that was really behind the whole vlog. So, it's been working good.
Does anybody have a question for these guys? I mean,
So Tom,
Oh.
with the announcement of the modification to the website, do you think you're still going to need to have a separate website, or is this now overcoming your need to
Well,
do a website?
The only reason I have a separate website is for my SEO on Google. So I find that a lot of people are going to Google, and a lot of people are searching for realtors, real estate companies in a specific area, and so I manage my Google page also, and it all ties in, and everything ties in, even though Google is a little bit separate from Facebook, but Google and your website are tied in together. So, on my Google homepage, I have photos of my office. We post once every 10 days on our Google page, which keeps it active, and we get reviews and so forth, and that is tied into my Howard Hanna Simon page. So every time somebody goes to Howard Hanna Simon, it helps increase my Google ranking. When I first started this, I was on the 10th page. If I searched real estate companies in Bell Vernon, I came up on a 10th page. Corporate was back there with me. So I first paid somebody $500 a month, and I got sucked into a 2-year contract, and they were going to help increase my SEO. It helped increase it a little bit, but not enough. Then I canceled that, and I paid a mentor for $300 a month, come once a month to my office for an hour and coach me. And then that was getting pricey, so I just canceled that in January. And I feel that, as a business owner, I have to control that because nobody else is going to worry about it like me.
everybody knows what SEO is, right? Search engine optimization. Okay. Really, it all comes down to a strategy. So Tom just kind of explained his, in detail, his strategy. So it comes down to, what are your goals? Okay. So, we're obviously talking about different ways to get the job done, but at the end of the day, these two gentlemen have a goal. We all have a goal. But it can't just be about selling homes or hitting a specific quota. It has to be a lot deeper than that. Because with the digital platforms today and the way that we can market ourselves, and by the way, social media is free. Okay, it doesn't have a cost to it. Now, tomorrow I'll be explaining a different angle of it with social advertising, but all of this is free. Everything I'm telling you, you can start doing it right now. If you have your laptops in front of you, or you have your smartphones. How many people have a smartphone in here? Everybody? Okay, good. So that thing right there, this you could use as long as you have a platform or a website. You have this, and you have a couple of apps on your phone. You could literally run your entire digital business. Because at the end of the day, what social media and what these digital platforms are doing is they're giving you an ability to create a digital you. So how many people think it would be really effective for their business if they could be in 2 places at once? All right? Well, that's what you can do. You can create basically a robot of yourself, but instead of dealing with just one-to-one prospect or one client, you can deal with as many as you want all at the same time because your brand is out there. So going off of the way that Sean takes care of it, he's literally putting himself out there in a real basis. Same thing with Tom. They're just going about it in different personalities, but at the end of the day, they all have the same goal, and that digital avatar, if you will. How many people know exactly who they want to talk to and who would be their ideal candidate to do business with every single day? Or is it just kind of like more of like a broad stroke of the brush? Right? Because we just want to close as many deals as possible. Well, what if I told you that you could literally be in those 2 places at once, but you could be doing business with the exact person that you want to every single day, 24-hour, 365, all the time? Is that interesting?
Sure, yeah.
That's what you can do with social media. That's what you can do with digital marketing. Because we can literally pinpoint it, because like with what Shane was talking about, like targeting, we can literally almost pinpoint it down to somebody who's wearing leopard socks on Tuesdays. Okay? And no, seriously, we can literally pinpoint it down to specific actions with that detailed targeting to make it so that we're only doing business with people we want to be doing business with. I mean, I certainly would rather do business that way, right? You know, because then we're dealing with less headaches, blah, 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 all those terrible things. We can pretty much code the majority of that crap out of there, right? So, in this case, when you got the idea to start the vlog from Ryan Serhant, what drew you in terms of like, yes, that's exactly what I need to be doing? Was there like an aha moment, like a trigger?
People commenting and engaging on his profile. I mean, Facebook's algorithm, not to be all confusing, but the more engagement and likes that you have, the more or less you're going to pop up in the top of the newsfeed without paying Facebook to do so. And that was really what I was attracted to. I'm like, this guy's, for instance, talking about his socks, and he's getting all kinds of engagement, and people are engaging and liking and knowing him outside of his real estate business. So, and it's really all about telling the story. A lot of people, and I want to hear you guys' feedback because I want you to get the most value out of this panel. When you hear social media or when you see it, a lot of people that talk to me, they say it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot that would be involved in it. And do you feel the same way? Do you got anybody out here, like when you're posting to social media, you feel that way? The best advice that I could give to anybody in this room would be to not overthink it. For instance, like the story function, which would allow you to do 10 to 15 second clips of your day while you're doing it. For instance, the ground was frozen. We live in PA, and I was getting a sign in the ground, and I couldn't get it in there. I didn't have a sledgehammer, so I had me and the seller, poured water down there, and we were jumping up and down on the sign, and I ended up getting 2-3 listing appointments from it because someone showed someone, son, mother, grandmother, someone saw this, and you get appointments from it. So what I'm saying is just tell your story. Every single day, focus on creating 10 to 15 second documentary clips of your new Netflix episode. And it's just the easiest way that I can explain that, instead of thinking, wait a minute, do I have to do this open house video now, or do I have to do a video of me doing something in my real estate business? Forget about real estate in general and focus on telling your story every single day to your people. And that that goes for your agents that are working for you, and then you can even take it to the broker level and do a little bit more in your personal life. I mean, even like walking the dogs. Let people know that you're approachable.
And I got off track a little bit with the Google thing, but I kind of think that there's two different planets out there. There's social media, and then there's Google. And even though I pull from social media, I treat them both kind of separately. On the social media side, I kind of follow what Sean does. And it's kind of hard until you get into the habit of doing it. So for example, I try to push myself to document whatever I'm doing and then throw it out there. So when I was coming up and I was driving on a turnpike, I figured, well, I thought in my mind, I'm going to document this couple days. So I did a quick clip driving up. Hey, I'm on my way to the franchise meeting in Hershey. I'm excited. And then that was it. I just kind of left it go. And then yesterday I took a couple videos with a couple people of some of the events. And then this morning, I'm walking over anyway. I just grabbed the phone and I just did a quick video walking over that I'm coming over for a meeting. See, that real life stuff, people like that. And then I grabbed Tom out in the hallway and we did a quick video. And then I'll patch that all together real quick using like iMovie on my iPhone, and then I'll throw it out there. And I think you could do it. See, I don't know that my story stuff, but I have to learn that. You're saying you can do that right in Facebook in my story, and it patches it all together and throws it out there.
Well, it doesn't necessarily patch it together like a professional video that you're posting, but it's just little segments throughout your day. So instead of wasting your time with the video editing, trust me, I went down that road and it's terrible. I wasted like 8 hours per day video editing. I'm like, wait a minute, Sean, are you a real estate agent salesperson or are you a videographer and video editor? So, and that's exactly why Jethro's here now today, because I realize that's not the best use of my time. But to flip it on its head, when you do those stories, there's 10 to 15 second clips. It doesn't have to be professional. People just tap through it and they know what you're doing, and that's essentially your video. And another big question I get a lot is what kind of tools do you use? And people would walk up to me like, well, how are you doing all these videos? And I'm like, guys, you're overthinking this. It's just my cell phone. I whip my cell phone out, I swipe to the right, and then I just hold the record button and just document my day all day. And you know, sometimes it does feel cumbersome, and a lot of people are like, how many times do I need to do it per day? And I would argue, don't worry about focus on numbers, just if there's something that you think, everything that you think is not entertaining. Guys, we watch, I don't want to see the hands, I'm not going to raise my hand, but we watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Jersey Shore. It's entertaining. People follow entertainment and they like it. They don't see people jumping on real estate signs every day or pouring water down or even showing houses. And then I would take it outside of real estate and, you know, show a little bit of your personal life. Let them know you're approachable.
Yes.
So, this theme has come up more than once since I've been down here. Do something as opposed to nothing would be the first step. And the second step then is to not sweat what you're doing.
Yep.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And I want to go on record. I told you Tom was out doing a video while we were waiting for him. So.
Well, and I did go to the next level when I bought this little stabilizer, maybe $150, so that I could take it. But the first step, you don't need a $150 stabilizer. All you need to do is grab your phone. One, it's not costing me any money.
It's free.
Free. I like free. And I'm getting a lot of good stuff. And then I throw some fun into it. Like Santa Claus, Christmas time, I dressed up as Santa Claus. And we were doing open houses. And it was real cold. I took my shirt off and did it. Oh, it's freezing out here. Make sure you check your pipes if you got a vacant home. Somebody just mentioned me walking around without a shirt the other day. And listen, I ain't got this guy's build either. Me walking around with a shirt ain't gonna make the top 10 list. But it grabbed people's attention. And it makes people want to follow me because I do some quirky stuff. And people like to laugh, and we don't laugh enough. But, so now, somebody sent me something, and I think I sent the link to you. I thought I sent it to the other Sean, but I'll get it to you, Sean. And it says, do a month, I'm going to start a behind the scenes. And I'm working on it right now. And it's just behind the scenes stuff that goes on in the office. And the one I'm working on is our Monday sales meeting. Because we have a pretty good Monday sales meeting. And then I'm going to do a closing. And then I'm going to do the girls, an agent working on paperwork, or somebody putting a sign in. And once a month, or once every 2 weeks, I'm going to start doing a behind the scenes. And then I'm going to incorporate like a newscast once a month, a market report in my area. Just as simple as, hey, there's 30 listings on the market in Ross Draver. The average sale price is $125,000. People then, so I got to incorporate a little bit more professional stuff in to make me look like the expert, just not the clown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But people like clowns too.
Very quick question, Sean.
Well-
When you post those individual 15 seconds,
Yep.
whatever, is that on your personal page or your business page?
So I do it all from Instagram. If you have the Instagram app, you can link your business page for Facebook to your Instagram app, and I would do that because I'm on the Instagram app right now. On the home screen, I just swipe to the left. That's the right?
The other.
The other way, and then I just hit record. Just like, hold on, let's just do one just for instance.
You're famous.
Hey everybody, we're here at Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we're doing a panel with Alex over here and Tom over here, and we are doing a panel on social media, so I figured what better way to do a Instagram story real quick. Everybody say hi to everybody on the Instagram page. So, and just as simple as that, you're just document it, and then I just hit next, share, and then done. And it's already connected to my Facebook business page. It took me less than 60 seconds to do, and the content has been delivered and out there.
The only thing I want to say is I always tell our agents the only person that's standing between you and your success is you.
Right.
And I really try to build their confidence in themselves. You don't have to have this professional video that you've
It's
spent
so
10
true.
hours building. It can be that brief snapshot,
Right.
but be confident in you.
Right.
and just post everything,
Yep.
that you possibly can.
So, this may be a question for Alex as well. Facebook and Instagram. So we have a Instagram business page, and we're starting to do more on that, and we're gonna start hammering that. I see the stats from yesterday. The millennials are really buying
crazy.
a lot of homes and stuff. We don't have them connected. We kind of kept it as two separate entities, really, so we could be over here and be over here, maybe getting two different segments of the market. What are the impressions that you guys are getting on Instagram from corporate? Do you guys have it linked together? Should it be separate? I mean,
You're working too hard.
yeah.
No, but that's a really good question. Everything. Make a perpetual cycle of engagement. I want them to see you here, 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 here. Like, for example, like he was just talking about. He literally just took that live and it went on Instagram, and also at the same time it went onto Facebook. So right there we covered two birds, one stone, and now we're broadcasted live forever, because it's there unless you take it down, but your message is out there. And to his point, or to their point, we were talking about, would you rather buy from somebody that you trust? What we're doing with digital marketing and what we're doing on social media or social advertising is we're taking away that wall of celebrity, okay? Because normally whenever you see these really nice, videos, etc., we seem like really inaccessible, right? So like you were saying, we look busy, we look too big for our britches. We're trying to put that human element back into the mix so that we take away that wall of celebrity and we look approachable. Because when we look more approachable, we get more business, more money, right?
Can I add to that too? And I think different people communicate differently. And this is where I struggled with. So, I don't know, anybody on Facebook, put your hand up. So, not everybody's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. And I seen like my daughter, who's 18, she was like, they're all communicating on Instagram and they're not even doing Facebook. So what I try to do is I try to cover all mediums with my social. So when I post, I was sharing like you, but I think when you share from Instagram to Facebook, then on the Facebook feed, does the video start automatically now? Does it?
Yeah, this one did.
It did? So I do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So when I post, and then once every 10 days I post something on Google My Business. So I try to hit them all because everybody communicates differently. Some people will message me on Facebook and say, hey, I want to buy a house. Some people will text me. Some people will email me. Some people will call me. Some people will send you a message on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So you have to almost be multi-generational so that you're covering the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you, the people that are going to do better, because if you're not, your competition is.
What, Tom?
I think this is great, and especially if for listing and selling agents or listing and selling brokers. Has anybody, Tom, and maybe this is more directed at you, has anybody been using the social media platforms to do recruiting?
Well, that's what I went on the Hannah Jamaica trip. That's what I used. Video on some photos on the bus with Hottie sitting there. We went on a snorkel trip. We shot a video. Me and Annie Hanna in the swimming pool. We did a video drinking, and it's all about. And you know what? I post a lot of partying and a lot of group events, and it's my whole team partying. Or a Christmas party at the office, because I want people to come work for Howard Hanna Simon because we have fun and we have the best tools.
So the key, and that kind of addresses the question, as an agent I want to be approachable, but as a broker what I want to do is show our culture.
You want to show that you're a fun place to work and you have the right tools and you have a great brand. Why would you go anywhere else? People want to have, I want to have fun. So people want to have fun.
True.
And we focus, on my way up here, I talked to one of my people in my office and I said, I want to schedule a fun event every quarter. We're going to do a golf thing at the golf place where we're going to play miniature golf. That's going to be one event, and then we'll have lunch and I'll pair everybody up. We're going to do a deck party at the local marina, and we're going to go to a pirate game, and then probably I'm going to do another event at my home, which is big, and I got this from the Hannas. where I do a first-class thing in my house, have it catered. I have a couple young kids out front, valet parking, and I bring it. I invite all my agents and their spouses, and you know, I spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, big bar, and they love that, and they want it, and they have a great time. They were there till 3 o'clock in the morning. The last one, they were there till 3 o'clock in the morning. So I promote, come work with us and have some fun, and I think that's important.
Thanks, Tom.
Hey, you had a quick question about recruiting and using social media. Actually, tomorrow, that's literally what I'll be going over in detail with you guys, and how to get the best recruits. Because I actually have run several campaigns that deal with that, and I'll be able to share, a lot of that information and success with you guys.
One quick thing that I wanted to say: does everybody know Tom Ferry in this room? Mike Ferry's son, isn't it? Yeah, of course. He said something that really resonated well with me in everything that we've been doing. Is he said you're looking to be an option on. Think of it like a grocery store. You're walking down the aisle. You're looking to be one of those things that people can grab off the shelf. It doesn't have to be pretty. Stabilizer, yeah, great, but it's not necessary. You're just basically looking to be that option where they have the choice to scroll past you and say, hey, I'd like to do business with this person. And another thing that really resonated well with me was I asked myself, because I came out of my comfort zone, my friends, I was really an introvert in high school, believe it or not, and I had to overcome what people were going to think about me when I was doing the videos. Like a lot of us are, I was scared at first when is this a good angle? Do I sound good? You start overthinking the things. And the real question that I asked myself when I was sitting there and I was doing this, I'm like, Sean, I got to make a change if I want to be successful in real estate. If I don't post this video right now and become an option on this aisle, am I okay with losing out of a commission check from a buyer and or seller because they don't know I'm an option? And that was something that really, it kind of spun in my head. And I was like, okay, it's time to change. So just really what he was paring into about, putting it out there. Don't focus on the perfection. Don't focus on anything. Just really start and just start becoming that option.
Can I add one other thing too? And Tom, you said about recruiting. I do this for retention too. So maybe, and I just bought this a week ago. So most of the stuff that I have done is not been with. I'm just trying to go to the next level with it. Hopefully I won't leave it here, so I'll take it. I use this for retention. So every once in a while on a Saturday or Sunday, I get my grandson. We go to my agents' open houses because you're going to find your agents are going to be a little bit more timid. Every once in a while you'll have an agent who will be out there, but most of them aren't. And what I do is I go around to all my agents' open houses. I do a video right there. I have my administrative person send me some text, send me a couple still photos. And me and my grandson, we can hit, and the houses are close, within a couple miles of each other. We can hit 5, 6 houses in one Sunday, 3-hour period. And the agents love it, because it's something that they wouldn't do. But when I go out and I go stop at Rob Hayco's open house and do a video on a Sunday afternoon, that goes a long way with keeping that agent. And I have agents coming to me saying, I've been doing this front door thing. It's called, let's go in the front door, and then I do just a walkthrough. And I have people coming to me saying, Tom, my agents, can you come in my listing and do a front door video? They want you to. So I use it for recruiting, for retention, and for public to drive traffic to my office. So you could use it for everything.
Right. One other thing too is that when you're putting everything out there, and you're focused on bringing in the leads, right? Everybody wants the leads, but another thing, this is a whole nother panel, but something I've really been focused on is because last year we brought in so many people and they were just falling through the cracks, so they were getting 3-star service, and that's part of the reason why I grew a team, was because of that reason. We're so focused on driving the business to us with all the social media. One of the things that I feel like does get left behind a lot, and I'm a victim of this too, is caring. Actually caring and giving that client that you're dealing with, or your agents in this case, if you're recruiting, tying into that, showing them and letting them feel, not only by your words, but letting them feel that they are the only one that you're either talking to or going through the transaction with, or that agent that's working underneath you. And I think that's very important to portray that in your brand, your personal brand, and your business, pairing off what Tom said about the just caring and going above and beyond to let them know that.
People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Who was it, Quan Hopkins or Floyd Wickman?
Wickman might have stolen it from
Yeah,
but that's
and
why.
that's important, having empathy, and I talk about that at every meeting, that you have to put the person, not the dollars, you have to put the person first.
Right.
And when you do that, the money will come automatically.
And that's more or less even personal life too. There's a difference from being there and being involved. And, I think that's a very important point.
Do we have any questions right now? Yeah, I thought so.
So like you said, you wanted to quit video editing and stuff. Like that's something that I've noticed has taken up a lot of my time. But I feel like it's also really important to get something like that because no one else in my market really does that. So that's something I wanted to do, or I still do. So you hired a videographer, but I guess how do I keep doing that but still like you said, still be an agent?
Okay, that's it. That's a really good question for those of you that didn't hear it. He's asking. He's starting to get into the video editing. He knows it's really important because if you can control your videos, and videos are so important online, but I'm spending some time video editing. Where's the happy median, right? Because I still want to keep doing it. My thoughts is until you could hire on and bring on somebody, or even if you did want to do that, if you didn't want to do that, I would continue to do what you do, but hire it out on Upwork.com. So record everything and then have the content and then upload it to the Google, or not the Google Drive, but a drive space like Upwork.com and hire freelance videographers at per hour basis and per content projects so you can continue to push the content to them and then still post it. Because really the content creation is the ultimate part that you need. The video editing can be hired out.
And I'm a little cheaper than Sean, broker, agent, cheaper. If you have an iPhone, what I do is I do a couple quick clips. You can edit them right in your photos. Sometimes I have to shorten them up at the end, and you can shorten them up real quick in a minute. And then I got iMovie. It's a free app. It'll just pull those over, and you stitch them together. You can put some text on it and go. And literally, you can do that in a couple. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. I can do it. Anybody can do it. So iMovie, real quick, edit right in your photos, play with it. But once you play with it a couple times, you'll find out how easy it is.
That's what I used to do, but then I wanted to make it look a little better and went to Premiere.
He's at the exact spot that I was before Jethro came on because I learned all of it. I went from iMovie, I'm like, okay, this is great, but now how do I increase that? There's a lot of videos now that everybody's doing. How do I make this more attractive? And that's why.
So,
Tom?
about 4 or 5 minutes left here. This is really awesome. I don't know if I got confirmation. Can you come to dinner with us tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. I'm sure a lot of people want to, help drill down on some more of that type of stuff and pick your brain, so we really appreciate you being here with us for that. I didn't do probably the best job that I could have with introducing you, but would you mind sharing with this group how many transactions you did last year?
Sure. So in 2018, it's just a team of two. Myself and my girlfriend Stephanie, who's not present. She got licensed in February of 2018, and she was doing admin work prior to that. We did 80 transactions for $11 million and an average sale price of $129.5, I believe, in sale.
Next question. When did you get your license?
The very end of 2015.
Okay, so you're licensed 16, 17, 18, just over 3 years.
Just over 3 years.
And you did 80 transactions with one person. And you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just me and my girlfriend, and she was licensed in 2018, so I think she did 5 leads last year.
So
How well did you do in 17?
2017 was my first full year in real estate because I had no other job. It was like January to December. 70 sides or 69 sides for $8.5 million.
So my takeaway here is, brand new to real estate, and is using social media as a primary platform for
That's
marketing. You know, we're all talking about marketing, where we can all spend our dollars to get the maximum ROI. Here's a guy, just got licensed a few years ago, and he is leading his company in transaction volume and has gotten this recognition, which is well deserved for the 30 under 30.
Thank you.
I want to add something else because I think Sean has done, obviously he's our shining star. But I think a big part of it has to do, and you tell me if I'm wrong about this, tell the group if I'm wrong. He still hasn't lost sight of the fact that he gets up every morning and goes, figuratively at least, and knocks on doors.
Right.
None of this happens. The social media stuff is great, but none of it happens if he doesn't generate the inventory.
Right, and I got to say something, and this isn't just because my broker's sitting in the room or my associate broker, but you know, being I can admit this right now. I left Caldwell Banker 8 months into this and came to Howard Hanna because of the training involved. When I moved my license, and they handed me a whole packet and said, "Here's an onboarding process," and I was like, "Wait a minute!" Before I was handed a sales agreement and a listing agreement, and was told to just make it happen. I went through a whole training process, not only with Hanna but with my broker. So essentially what I'm saying is they opened the doors, and Hanna opened the doors for me, and then I just took it from there.
That's a really good point. I know that we only have, a couple of minutes left, so do we have any last minute questions? Now, we're all obviously going to be at dinner this evening, and of course, like Shannon said, I love to talk
I think
about
Sean
it.
should explain who Jethro is. I'm not sure everybody knows who Jethro is.
Oh. Okay. Are you sure we're good on time? I know everybody's busy
This is it.
schedule.
We'll wrap up now.
Okay. So Jethro, and this will be part of the vlog. Does anybody have a problem with being on video today?
No.
Okay. Get the media release. I'm just kidding. So Jethro, he contacted me through a mutual friend. I knew basically it was a value or supply and demand proposition. He's like, who's making all these videos for you? And I'm like, right here. Now, by the way, I'm also working 60 hours in my real estate business. I want my life back. And he said, how about I make you a couple videos? If you like my work, let's get together. And, kind of one thing happened from another, and he was able to leave his job and come work for me full time. So give a round of applause for Jethro. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, guys, I know that we have a tea time coming up. This was great. Thank you so much for sharing all that, guys. And really the huge takeaway is just that it does not matter what age you are. It does not matter what generation you're coming from. This is available to us all for free right now. You can get started, and you can start generating those leads and sales as close to autopilot as possible. So thanks a lot for the morning session here, guys, and thanks for hanging out with me.
1 second. Hang on. Everybody knows you have the afternoon to yourself. If you're golfing, the bus is picking up at 12:15, so it's a quick shoot up there. If you're not, have a great afternoon. We have the buses departing from the lobby, main entrance, at 6 p.m. Please be there at 5:45 so that we can stay on our schedule. So 6 o'clock. Tonight's dress is casual, so come relax.
Hey everybody, so we're just finishing up. Thank you for hanging out with me. Just finished the panel. A lot of great information was said, a lot of great questions, and just really glad to be a part of Howard Hanna. This organization is awesome.